Redux is one of the most established, popular, and mature state management library. However, when Zustand came around, many developers quickly adopted it. And it's because it offers the same benefits as Redux, but without the boilerplate. And I have to admit, I like it too. But after working extensively with both, I've realized Redux has an advantage that Zustand lacks, and that is cross-store selection. That's a term I came up with, and it simply means Redux allows you to select state from different slices easily, which is very crucial for performance. If that sounds unclear, don't worry, we'll dive into an example to make it crystal clear just right now. Alright guys, so let's jump into the example here. So I just created the simplest, most basic, unrealistic e-commerce store, right? So here we have a membership where a user can pick his membership, right? So you can switch from standard to silver to gold, just pick it, and then you can add an item with a button, and then you can see the total price of the items that you have. And finally, we're gonna see here if you are eligible for free shipping or not, right? So as I mentioned in the beginning, that the strength of Redux is the ability to select a state from two different stores, like cross stores or cross slices. So what's the idea here is that in order to determine if the user is eligible for free shipping or not, we need two different informations. We need to know the membership and we need to know the total price. However, we're gonna have these two different data in two different stores. We're gonna have a user store, which contains, for example, the username, the email, and his membership, right? Because this is all as a user, makes sense to have it all together. And then we're gonna need the price of the card, right? And this is its own store because it makes sense to have this thing on its own and just manage it. However, in order to determine if the user is eligible for free shipping, I need to know his membership and the price, because depending on different like membership and price, the user would be eligible or not. So let me show you just a quick tour here in the code. I have this React app with basically these four components, which just literally represent what we have on the UI. So just let's take a quick look. Here we have the memberships, which with an H1, and then a select to allow the user to select the different membership. And the three memberships are these: standard, silver, and gold. And then we have an item, which is a button that the user can press to add an item. And then we have an item price, which is simply a span, which tells the user about the total price of the items in the cart. And the final one is the shipping details. It basically just determines if the user is eligible for free shipping or not. At the moment, everything here is static. We're gonna add in Zustand in just a minute. And with the magic of edit, now I made this app use Zustand. So let me show you. The app still looks the same, but I created two different stores. So here I created two stores, cart store and user store. And let me show you what these look like. So cart store basically looks like this. It has a state of price and an action of add amount, and that's how you usually would create a Zustand store. You use the create function, right? And then you get in a callback with a set, and then here you define your store. I just have a price of 0 and actions of add amount, which you pass it an amount and simply add that to the original price. And then user store is basically just a store which has a state of name, email, and membership, and an action would be an update membership, right? And the initial state that I have here are just placeholder data, right? And then the action here just updates the membership, right? And just like that, so one thing that I noticed, guys, is that when I press on the on the membership, the select, I am really changing it here, but it's not visible on the recording for some reason. Anyways, I can add items. So as you can see, I'm adding items, and it always increases by 10. That's how I made it be. And then I can also change the membership. Let's take a look now how free shipping looks like. These are the membership free shipping rules, right? If the user has a membership of standard, then if he has 100 and above, then he's eligible for free shipping. If the user is silver, then it's 40 and above. If it's gold, then it's always for free, right? And the way that we do this in code is that we use the use card store, and then we select the price, and then we use the user store, and we select the membership, right? And from these two information, we can have this switch statement depending on the membership, and then check the price, right? If it's standard and price is greater than or equal 100, it's true. Silver, price greater than or equal 40, or gold, it's always true, right? And here I'm just calling this function, and it returns to us true or false. So let's take a look, and I'm at standard now. So let's go above 100 and see if it works. Yes, once I reach 100 or above, it says yes. Now let me switch to silver. I'm switching here, but you can't see it for some reason with the recording. Now I'm silver, it should work at 40. And yes, it works. Let me refresh and try gold. And here it says instantly yes, because if you're a gold member, then it's instantly yes. All right, guys, so what am I trying to show you here? The problem is that here we have a use effect, and it logs every time that the screen, as this component is re-rendered. Let's take a look at the console logs here, right? If I go ahead and add an item, if the user is of standard membership and the user is still not at 100, then it should still be no, right? But the problem is, so let's try and add an item. It is still no, but it's re-rendered. And I also have the React extension, which highlights when items re-render. So when I add an item, both the price and the shipping both re-render. Take a look how React is going to add this border around it. They both are re-rendering. And that's a problem because React says that it's a function, like the UI is a function of state, right? The state is that the user is not eligible for free shipping. I don't really care, like the end user doesn't care about the price or the membership. Like when it comes to this element, right? I only want to know, am I eligible for free shipping or not? I don't care about the price. I don't care about the membership. This is implementation details, right? Maybe not, like later on, we deduce this value from other stuff. But what I care about is a Boolean, and that is, am I eligible or not? So again, if I press, you see that it's re-rendering. Now, if I refresh here, and instead of adding an item, I change to silver, right? As you can see, both the membership and the free shipping are re-rendering. And again, it's because we are using the membership here, and this is causing the component to re-render. If I go back to standard, it is still no, but this is re-rendering. I go back to silver, it is still no and re-rendering. And this is really a waste of re-renders, in my opinion. So let's see how Redux fixes this. So now the app is using Redux. Let me show you what changed. Now here we have this stores directory with these files. So let's go over them. We have the store, and that's where you create the entire Redux store, right? You use configure store, and in here you have the reducers. So I have, these are like Redux terms. So like reducer, so we create the cart reducer and then the user reducer. Let's take a look at the user store. And it's really similar to what we were doing with Zustand. We create the user state here, the type, name, email, membership. We set the initial state, and then we create the slice. Like Redux calls parts of the store slices. And then here we're creating the user slice, and then we're passing it a name, and then an initial state, which we defined up here. And then reducers are functions that like change the value of the store basically. So here we have the update membership, which takes in a value of string, and that's the new membership. And then we set the state membership equals to this payload. And then let's take a look at the cart slice. It's basically the same as before. We have a price, and then we have the initial state, which takes price of 0. And then reducers is also add amount, basically same thing, guys. And then we have, as I said, Redux comes with its own boilerplate. So in order to have hooks that are typed, you need to create these, use app dispatch and use app selector. The dispatch is Redux way of emitting actions, like when you want to call a method that changes state, you use dispatch, and the use app selector is how you select state from the store. All right, then. One more thing that we need to do is just trap the app in a Redux provider and pass it the store. Yes, more effort than Zustand, but take a look at the shipping details. In here, to figure out if the user is eligible for free shipping or not, we use the use app selector, which was defined in the hooks. Remember, here we have the use app selector, and then we take the state. And here's what I meant, by cross slice or store selectors, right? In this use app selector, we can just use any state from any slice and come up with a derived value, right? So what's important, like what matters for this selector is what's you're returning from it, right? And we are always returning a Boolean, right? Like here we're returning a Boolean, here we are, and the same thing here and here. We're not returning the price or the membership. We're basically using the price and the membership to deduce the derived value, right? So again, we pick here the price using state.cart.price and the membership same way, and we just calculate whether the user is eligible or not as before. What's important though is what's being returned from the use app selector is just a Boolean, and that is what we need for the UI, right? React is a UI which is a function of state, and this is the state that we care about. This is what we are showing the user, and it should only ever re-render if this value changes. So if we ever change the implementation details of how we determine if the user is eligible for free shipping or not, it does not matter. It will only re-render if this value changes or not. So let's take a look at this now. Again, we have here the re-rendered console log. And then also I have enabled the React extension. So let's go ahead and add an item. As you can see, only the price is being re-rendered, and that's amazing. Let's go up and let's go to 90. Now, if I add one more, both should need to re-render. Let's see. Exactly. Only at this case, when the user is has standard membership and his total price is 100 or above, it should re-render. Now, if I add items again, no re-renders. So this is, in my opinion, is the very powerful feature of Redux, which unfortunately is not available in Zustand. I mean, you could work around it in Zustand, right? You can jam in all the stores in one place, or I believe Zustand has like a utility thing which combines stores into the same way that Redux does them, like with slices, right? Or another solution would be is to memoize stuff with Zustand, right? We have another component which you pass it that is free shipping, and then use the react.memo so that it only re-renders when the prop changes. But it would be so much more effort compared to this implementation, which I think is just really, really nice. Now that we're done with the example, I do want to say that I do not mean that Redux is better than Zustand in all ways. In fact, I can count more ways in which Zustand stand out compared to Redux. But this specific feature is a super convenient one, in my opinion. Also, it becomes a necessity when the derived value is being used in a sensitive place, such as in items of a very long list, where performance is a priority and re-rendering all items when the derived value change can't be afforded. With that being said, we reached the end of the video. I hope you learned something new. And if you did, make sure you give the video a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more content. And till next time.